Hi everybody. I hope you're all doing good today. I have been putting off doing this video for so long I can't even imagine. This is my art journal slant junk journal, and it is a line called Dylusions from the company called Ranger. And it's a very different, you could term it a style of traveler's notebook, but it's a little different. And I was going to do a flip through to show you what this line is like and how much I love working in it. And you can tell by looking at it. I'm going to try not to hit my camera and shake it. You can tell it's a very distressed looking line of covers and inserts because it shreds and it has strings, and I love that about this. And it conforms and wraps around your books really fast. It's kind of a cottony feel, and it fades kind of like denim over time. And I'm just going to go through this and show you what it looks like, and I'm going to link everything below in case you're interested. I just made this charm out of little beads that came from Michael's and just strung them on a beaded chain. I've actually linked these in other videos, and I'll try to remember to link them below in case you would want it. This cover is just, it reminds me of like a tattoo, but it's kind of just so girly and funky. And the band that comes with it is like the most awesome color. It matches her eyeliner. And anyway, I'll stop rambling. This came from Hobby Lobby. You guys have probably seen it in the patch section. And I use this as like a junk journal, art journal. Inside I have this patch from Hobby Lobby. I just thought it was beautiful. Has a lot of glitter and sequins. This is a holographic bookmark that I hold on to because I love it. It's very old, from A.C. Moore. And this is a jumbo ollie clip. Looks kind of like dogwood, but I got that on Etsy. This is a coffee cup that I just printed on my Walgreens phone app. Now, what I have in here are folders, and inside each folder is the actual insert. And like I said, I will link it all below because this is a different line, and you know, you're not going to be familiar with it without really looking into it. So there's there's four inserts and 3 folders. So I told you about this. You probably know these stickers come from Hobby Lobby. And these folders, all of the Dylusions line is very heavy. I've never used inserts in cardstock, any kind of inserts or products that are as heavy as her stuff is. So it's not cheap, but it's art journal approved, meaning you can paint, you can use any kind of media, and it will not bleed. As you can see, this specific insert comes pre-colored, and then you can just do what you want on top of it. You can add more paint or color, or just use it to draw or journal. I just have I got this a long time ago, I think at Michael's. And again, more of the Hobby Lobby crystal stickers. This is just a picture of me and Kevin, and a piece of washi that's holding it down. This is one of her inserts that comes with, like I said, the pre-colored pages, because I hate white paper. So I put those decorations on the front. Then on the inside, I just Googled. You can Google a lot of her images and copy them, and then just cut them and paste them, and then you can color them yourself. You can also buy a lot of her images, but sometimes I like to resize stuff and do it the way I want. I used one of her stencils, and I have it in here. I'll show it to you to do that diamond backing, and then I just colored it. This, I got another thing on Google Images, just a black and white Betty Boop, and I printed it and cut it out and colored it. And then I just put these words, I did those, and these shapes. I just love to, you know, to color, and I love to do collages, which is, I guess, what you would call this. And there's so many things you can do off of Google Images and make it, you know, more your own. So this book, this first insert, I would just call my art journal. Then this is a collage. I just went on Google and found things I liked, glued them on. The background was just these blue dots. And so I found this online, and this is my Apple emoji. I love Beatles, and this was just a collage I titled Working Girl, because I'm a working girl. I mean, not the, you know, not the hooker kind, but, you know, corporate working girl. This is another little collage. I took some of the elements that are on her line of images, just cut them out, glued them down, and colored them. And then I just drew, you know, different aspects and these little background curlies, and just, you know, embellished it. And I just, this just relaxes me so much when I'm stressed out. It's one of the few things I can do where I get totally absorbed. I'm in the moment. I'm not thinking about anything else other than what I'm drawing and coloring, and it's just really, really fun. Here's another one I stole from her images, and I used a stencil, one of her stencils, to do the leaf work, and then just embellished it with the dots and the swirlies. I love working with gel pens and markers. I think it's nice because it's not as messy as paints. It's more detailed. You don't have brush strokes, and you don't have water you have to wait to dry. It's just, to me, it's the best of all worlds. Another one of her images I stole, cut it out and pasted it. Then I just free-handed the tree, and then I wrote, "All I see is magic." That's something I've seen online. And then I cut out this fairy. I just found it on Google Images, along with the gnomes. And then I bordered it with these little swirlies and dots. This one, I just felt like doing an underwater scene. This is 3D, obviously. I made this sea kelp, or whatever you would call this, seagrass. I made that 3D, and free-handed the seahorse and the jellyfish and the mermaid. It looks like I didn't finish. I should have done her arms. I mean, you can see them, but looking on camera, they're kind of light. And I also used metallic paint. Like, I don't know if you can see that. Her hair is kind of metallic-y, platinum. Starfish. I forgot my animal. Another one that was black and white, and I colored it. I saw this quote online, and I love it. So true. I just did a border. Borders, like, make it all cohesive. If you don't put a border, it just kind of looks like it's floating out there. I also cut my finger. And everybody's heard that quote. I just felt like doing hair that day. This is the hair that I wish I had. And maybe one day I did have it, but not anymore. I love to draw hair. Sometimes I just sit and sketch hairdos. Another one of hers. And then I just cut this short to give it some dimension on the side. Just filled it in, embellished it with some background. says, this quote is one of hers, I think. It says, "I will not be another flower picked for my beauty and left to die. I will be wild, difficult to find, and impossible to forget." It's really cool. This is actually a very old German storybook that my grandmother used to read to me. She was full-blooded German, and it was called The Little Tin Soldier by Hans Christian Andersen. And my mother teases me to this day and says that there's something wrong with me because it's sad. And a lot of German storybooks are sad, but it's just so beautiful. It is kind of sad and melancholy. If you ever get a chance to read it, let me know what you think of it. It's about a tin soldier who lost his leg, and about a ballerina who's, I can't remember, hers doesn't show, and that's why he falls in love with her. Anyway, it's amazing. This I got off Google, and it was very faint, and I had to darken it to make it look totally visible. I love that. My favorite part is the way her little wings look like foliage and leaves, and so does her hair. And again, I did this page too to give it some interest. And that's all that's in this one insert. But I'll flip through the pages so you can see her colored paper. I just love not having white paper. Oh, I even have something else. I must have went ahead because I like the background and did this sheet. This was a thank you note somebody gave me for a gift I gave them, and the note was so beautiful and it meant so much I kept it. And here's just another page of her colors. Love the pink. Love anything pink. Look at the blue flowers. Doesn't it just make you want to draw on it? You could also use it as a diary. I'll show you my next few books how I use some of the other ones. Each page is different, which is, well, no, I guess I'm wrong, because that one I think I've already seen. Then on the back I have some Hobby Lobby stickers. This is a thing I've printed on my sprocket, and that's just a piece of washi. Here's the back of the folder. It's a stencil I had, but I actually don't care for it. I don't like stencils. Nothing's connected, and it doesn't look, I don't like the way it looks. I have some sticker sheets. The sheet that goes to my sprocket in case I want to use a square to fill in, you know, to write inside. The back of the folder. She sells these stickers that are like fabric, but they're sticky, but they feel like they're very fabric-y. You can see the textile nature. And a lot of them have funny sayings and stuff. Here's my next folder, and I have a picture of my family here, and they don't like their pictures online. This was a Michaels sticker that I just love this. I love anything that says girl power. And on the inside I have some pictures, my mailing return address labels. I printed that. This has a little slot like in case you want to stick something in it. This is another book that she has, and I'll link it, and I printed this weekly on my sprocket, and I wanted to use this as like a weekly calendar that I could draw. Like it takes time to do this, so it's a way to draw and doodle without having to come up with elaborate stuff like it's in the first book. So I just split off, you know, 6 blocks using the 2 for the weekend. And it's really fun to do it. It takes quite a while to, you know, do your fonts and then fill them in, and which is nice. I mean, I want something that I can spend time on. This is another week. And then I added a few stickers. Not a lot. This one I decided to use stickers for the days of the week, and I think it's cool. I love this one just because of the colors. did this one, you know, really different. I printed the left things out and turned them sideways. And you can tell, I mean, this was a lot of time spent, which is nice. It's a hobby that you can get into and relax and lose time. Another fun one. Not so crazy about this one. I like this one. Anything with pink on it. A little bit of washi, a couple stickers. Not as crazy about this one. Didn't put any stickers on this one. My mom's birth month. This one I didn't finish. Put little dots on the days. You can't, you know, if you're not looking at it in person, you might miss it. It was very time consuming, but it was fun. And that's the last one I put in here. This is a different book, so I'll show you the pages. That's where I would just line off the days of the week. This one I cut. I either didn't like something I did or I did it just for the fun of it. It's a 50-50 chance which reason it was. That one I must have messed something up because I glued it. Here's a heart from Hobby Lobby, and then pictures of me and my sister. Then this is the back of the folder. And this is what I mean about you could find images. If you Google her stuff on Dylusions, you can find stuff like this. And I would just Xerox them and use them as collages and color them. Sometimes I find images and print them on my sprocket. Washi. Here's another one of those fabric stickers that she sells a pack, like huge, like 12 of them. And if you don't want to decorate the front of something, these are just beautiful. Then here's another folder. This one I called Prayer, and I put the footprints, like, you know, the poem, the spiritual poem footprints. These came from Hobby Lobby. And another of those love, those are so pretty. Hobby Lobby. And this one I used for all my inspirational prayers. All these prayers came from something I saw online or something I knew of. Jesus of Nazareth. This came from a book I love. This one's on strength. If you want to pause it and read it, it's beautiful. Psalm 23rd. This is another one that came from a book called Daily Strength. Another one, some of my favorite ones come from that book. It's called Daily Strength for Daily Needs. Barnes & Noble used to sell it, but it wasn't, I mean, you could get it anywhere, especially any of the used bookstores online. Another picture of Jesus of Nazareth. I absolutely love that movie. Another quote, or, you know, inspirational message from online. Something else I got online that I loved. When times are hard and you have a book like this of prayers you love, especially ones that really speak to you, it's so helpful to have your favorites in one location. One time I was curious who all the archangels were, so I wrote them out. Vernon Howard, you can find him on YouTube a lot. He does a lot of inspirational talks. He's a dear, dear man. He's like a PhD. And another picture of Jesus of Nazareth. Then the rest of these pages are empty. except for that. And all I have on the back is that Crystal L and that Bumblebee from Hobby Lobby. Now this book was just brown craft paper, and Michael sells this stuff that comes on a sheet, and it's kind of like plastic, and you just peel off the backing, and it's real easy to cover those brown craft paper books. And I just put washi on it, and I found this on Google and printed it because that's what I wanted to title the book, just daily, happy daily pages. And what I used this for was just pages where I had like really wonderful days that I wanted to put down pictures and detail. This was my birthday. I wanted to write special things about it. Another special day. It just gives me a chance to, you know, do more than you can do in like a no-term planner. Another special day, Mother's Day, picture of the cake. A really great day that me and Kevin had with Lucy. Thor was in boarding that day. He's not very controllable. You have to be really careful where you take Thor. Just washi for another page. And that's the end of that book. I just printed this from Google Images. Here is the last folder of the 3. It's a 3-pack. Images I printed on the sprocket. In here I have this picture. Somebody gave this to me and said it looked like me, and I laughed because I swear it does. It's a little too close to home. And like I said, all her folders have this slot here. I guess you could put cards, you know, debit cards or small things. I just put a pen loop right there. And I think this, yeah, this is my last book in here. This one I put my C, and I printed that and cut it out and stuck it. That's a photo. Found this on Images and printed it with my sprocket. I love decorating the front of the books. I love that the background is awesome, and then you can put everything you want on top of it and make each book personal. I use this one as a journal, so I got a lot of vintage stickers from Amazon in a vintage pack. And this I drew. I do this on the front of a lot of books. I'll write what I'm using it for. In fact, I think, I'm surprised I didn't have that on something else. I think that's in my other Traveler's Notebook. Yeah, I have another Traveler's Notebook where I have done that on the inside. So I just do the letters, you know, it takes a while. I rough it out in a pencil, and then once I have it roughed out, then I go in and do it with markers, felt tip, and gel pens. This is fun. I do this on the front of a lot of my books. And this one I use, like I said, it's a journal, so I covered up some of my stuff that I didn't want to show. Journal pages. A lot of it was dreams I had that I wanted to write down. That was a dream. These were dreams. Another dream. Another one. I should have just called it Dream Journal. And then look, people think I'm so exacting. Look, I didn't even spell birthday right. Birthday weekend. More journaling. And then these pages are blank for drawing. I just put craft paper down and glued it on the back. And then here I put Lucy. I found her name. I love that on Google. And a picture of her. Doll baby. Sticker from Holo. The back of the folder. This one I have a vet, her annual shots she got. Another coffee thing, I laminated that one. Another one of those fabric sticker things that she does. A vintage sticker. On the back, I printed these with my sprocket. They're just little dolls. I think they're Chinese or Asian, and they used to be really a big deal. Like There were some of these that were 10,000. Believe it or not, the doll was like 10,000, 15,000. They're just adorable. They're really about this big in real life. Then back here, I just have some of those vintage stickers that I got from Amazon. A picture of hair that I used to take to the stylist, but she's quite familiar now with what I like. Another one of those fabric patches. And that is it. I have had this a long time, and sometimes I literally, as much as I like the threads fraying, sometimes I get the scissors and just trim it up a little bit. But that's only when it gets really, really bad. And I love this book. It reminds me of when I was a kid growing up. They used to, in the 70s, they did a lot of painting and patches on denim, and that's what this feels like. It feels like an old pair of jeans, and it does fade with time. And like I said, it'll wrap itself right around whatever you put in it. And I will be enjoying, I'm sure, in the months to come, doing some more artwork in here. If you have any questions, please post them below. I'll be happy to answer. Have a good day. Bye.